Hi guys, so today I have something new to share with you from Diamond Press. This is an item they brought to HSN. It's a Snowflake stencil kit with ink and daubers is what it says. So let's open this up. So these items were sent free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own. And any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. Ooh, look, oh my gosh! Look at that! So I know they had inks back in the day. Diamond Press would have some, and they were so nice, and they're like pigment inks, so they have a lot of color to them, a lot of saturation. Beautiful colors in these cute little pots, or pads, I guess. Non-toxic dye ink. And so we'll open this up and we'll check these out, of course. But look at this. Aww. Little teal colored tool. You know I love that. And I know you guys love that, so this is super cute. Oh my goodness. So, very soft foam. I don't know if you can see that. Little round disc there. And then it has like a hard foam disc. And then the little like Velcro kind of attachment stuff right here. And then the hook and eye or loop part of it, should I say, is over here. Oh my gosh. How adorable. So cute. Very lightweight. And then of course we have our stencil. So let's check this out. So it says stencil stamp and die kit snowflake instruction sheet. So we have so we have the stencils and some information, but I just wanted to show you kind of what we're looking at here as far as how to color them in. They're showing 2 different colors or however it is that you want to do it. Oh, there are dies. Wow. I just said die, didn't I? Die kits. And then it has a cutting folder. Again, if you have a marquee, you know, there's a refill. If you don't have a marquee, you can just put this aside and use it for something else, but this is what helps you cut in the marquee. All thin metal dies will cut in any machine that cuts thin metal dies, so I get that question very often also. Oh, look at the stencils. Are they blue? Oh my gosh, I was like, are they blue or is it like a coating? How cute! Okay, so we have these guys here, and I don't know if you can see that these basically, like, I don't know how to show you that they layer. I don't know if you can see that, kind of where they're at and how that one has less than this one. Okay, so that's one thing, and oh my gosh, and then we have like this outer frame. Like a frame one. So what's plastic is not going to show up. So actually with this one you would think, oh, okay, the snowflakes, but no, that's not going to show. So it's going to be the opposite, you know what I'm saying? Well, let's look at it here. Just like this. So we have the 2 layering ones and then this one. So as you can see, the white is where the paper was, and then the blue color coming in is from the ink. Very cool. And then we have stamps. Be merry, 'tis the season, snow. Of course, we have our snowflakes, really nice size snowflakes. Even the stamps themselves, I don't know if you can tell by the size of my hand. Wishing you peace, love, and joy this holiday season. Wishing you a Merry Christmas. I mean, just winter wishes. Let it, of course, with the snow. And then the dies. Oh my gosh. So these make snowflakes just, you know, because they're so intricate and decorated there. The way they're created. And then these guys will cut out the snowflakes from here. There's another snowflake that's on its own, and then the word snow you can cut out. Be merry, it looks like you can cut out a little like swirl, really cute, and then like a little banner. Oh my gosh. Okay, well let me grab some paper because we have our ink and we have our blending tool and we have our stencil, so I will be right back. Okay guys, I'm getting real close because of that glare, but you can still see it. So I like to do my stenciling on this board, whatever it is that you like to use. I did cut my papers to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, although in the instructions they're showing that you can go right onto your card, but I like to kind of mat and layer things, so I'm just going to use regular paper, but it is basically the size of a card front, right? An A2 size card front. And in measuring these, when I went to cut my paper, these are basically created to create, you know, a standard A2 size card. So I am going to just follow the directions. So I have these little pegs that hold things down, but I'm going to go ahead and tape it down like they say. So we have this guy, and they say go ahead and tape the back of the card. Like if you were going to use a card, you go ahead and open it up and put some washi or whatever tape to hold it down, and then the stencil with more tape on top. But I'm going to hold this here, and I need some of this. And I'm trying to see if it really matters which one we use first. You know, it's funny because whenever I stencil, I go from light to darker. These, they're showing dark and then light, but I don't think it matters because of the style, that if whichever one you do first. So I'll do like they showed, just so you have the same idea there. And let's see, they are using this one first, looks like. And again, I don't think that's something that super matters which one you use first. And okay, so what I'm going to do is still put a little piece of tape underneath, since my paper is smaller than the stencil, just a little bit to help hold it. And then I'm still going to put tape over the top. And they did give you nice large edges all around, so you can do this easily, which is nice. You know, I know sometimes when you place tape, it like gets in your way of the design, but this looks pretty good. And like I said, well, you know what? I'll still tape it. It's fine. And actually, I'll probably reuse this tape for the next layer. Okay, and like I said, they use the darker one, which in my opinion is this one. We have the light blue, and then we have this one that's kind of minty. So let's get this guy. And okay, put a clean dauber on the bottom of the handle. Ink the bottom of the dauber by tapping it on the ink pad. Dab the inked dauber onto the stencil, covering all the designs. Pay attention to small details, because you know there are some small areas. You just want to make sure everything's in there. Pretty pretty. And oh, it's getting that ink already. I don't want to get too much if I don't need it. So sometimes I'll do this kind of thing, and sometimes I just dauber like this. I don't know if you see what I'm doing. I'm not scraping. I'm just kind of pushing in there, making sure, again, to get all those small details. And in doing so, this whole thing covers the whole front of your card, so you're not going to get any inking like on the edge of your card, which happens, right, if you use certain stencils, the way it works. So this is really nice, because even if I stamp over the edge, it's not going to give me some like errant colors where I don't want it. So I'm just going to continue. I'm going to go around the whole thing just like that. So I just kind of dab and twist, dab and twist. That's just the way I do it. I don't know. However you like to stencil. If you do want to come in and go shh, that's up to you. But this has some very fine detail, so I feel like you purposely want to push the color into those areas. Okay, so I'll continue doing that in these last bits here. Okay. So it does say, you know, after this you can clean it off with a baby wipe. I don't know if you can see there's some blue, but if you kind of do this, it's kind of collecting it back up on this dauber, and also helping you kind of push it back in. I don't know if you can see that. So I'll rinse mine off, but yeah, I mean, it works really well, nice and sturdy. Again, very lightweight. I don't know if you can hear, it's like a hollow plastic there. And, you know, I was just kind of, and it works real well. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. So I'm going to take time to take these off carefully, that way I can recycle my washi. And then we're just going to line up our second layering stencil over this to get a little more something going on. And it's stenciling, so you know, I just kind of played around there. You can definitely use the same or different colors in this one, right? If you want to go from like dark to light, do your own variation, you can definitely do that. And I'm just trying to see when this one comes down, which direction it needs to be, or like where. Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, I just wanted to see. I think if I look at it, it definitely goes like here. I don't know if you can see, like this little inner piece goes inside this little guy. So I would just like to line it up real well. That looks great. So I'm looking at this, I'm checking this side out to see kind of where we're at, what that's looking like. Making sure this is kind of lined up down here. That looks pretty good. Okay. I'll lay this back down. And then I'll do the whole process again, but with a different color. So let's do that. So I'll remove this little guy, bring this one over, and we'll do the light blue. And then we'll try out the frame one next. Oh, you know, I need to check also if it's dye ink or more of like a pigment feel, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, and again, I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to go through and dauber, dauber, dauber. Again, if you like to do this kind of thing, whatever it is that you like to do, it'll work. So I'll just show you this time when you go like this. Okay, and I'll just fill this in. Okay, just finishing that up again, kind of collecting the color that's on the top there. And this time I'll just go ahead and pick this up. Aww. So you can see the two colors, they're kind of playing together. So pretty. I'm gonna go rinse these off and then we'll take a closer look. I'll be right back. Rinse those off. And it came off very nicely. Looking brand new. As you can see here, I'll just rinse them off. That's it. And there it is. Really pretty. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, no, I don't think these are pigment inks. So that's really great because they dry fast. You know, they dry faster than a pigment ink. How sweet. Okay, we're gonna try the frame one. So again, I'll just put this here, and you know, whatever it is that you want to do with your colors, of course. I'm gonna put this here and here, and then bring this guy over. Just, I'm gonna turn on this side. Looks like one side's more flat than the other. Okay, and this one goes right to the edges. So I'll take a little more care with this one. Now I just put tape in the little corners, but if you like to do the whole edge, you can definitely do that. Okay, and you know, with this one, maybe what we can do is kind of play with the colors. Since I already have this on here, let's start with this guy and just kind of, since we're just making like a background. Where's the other color that we have? Oh, it's right in front of me here. Yeah, so let's say we did that. I'm going to remove this and bring this guy over. Open this guy up. And we use a few different colors. I think I'm done with this one, but I'll cover it for the meantime. And being a little more careful with this one since it is a delicate stencil here. You can hear that. This color is much more green than the other minty one. Okay, and then we'll go into that deep blue. This one. And I'm just working the color in. Kind of in a gingerly way until I get here, then I can kind of blend it in. Just kind of made like a mottled background. Okay, I think that's what I will do. If you want to look at it before you really move it, I always do is remove a couple of them and just kind of open it up, and you can kind of see what's going on, and you know, you can lay it back down if you need to get back to another area. But don't take everything off, because then it might be much more difficult to line it up again. Oh my goodness. How soft and pretty. It looks almost airbrushed, right? Because it has like that roundness to it. Aw. Let me go clean off my stencil and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have what our card bases. We'll probably trim them down to put a little matte and layering, but we have these two. So pretty. And what I'm going to do is stamp a couple of snowflakes on this light blue paper. Of course you can stamp on white paper. I just thought since the background is white, we can bring in some other color. And let me just get these magnets out of the way. So I'm going to stamp both of these guys. Leaving a little space for the dies. And I'm going to use the darker blue so it's like a tone on tone. Sorry. Oh, I missed that whole top corner. Get a little more pressure there. Okay, I'm going to do it again because I do want it darker, and let me let that air bubble out. Let that air bubble out, hopefully. That's really sweet though, nice and light. I was wondering if I even inked this corner. I could see there was no ink on it. Okay. I'm just going to remove this one. There we go. And I'll just do it one more time. This is pattern paper, or what's it called? Textured paper. So it takes a few tries to get that really on there. Alright. And I'll probably stamp a few more. I just want to show you kind of what I was doing as far as tone on tone. And as you can see, this one has 3 or 4 layers of ink, where this one has the 2, and it just has a different intensity. And look! And so I'll stamp a few more, and probably, well, you know what? No. What I'll do is I'll cut these out, and then I'll just cut out some snowflakes in different shades of blue, silver, white, maybe glitter card. But for these guys, we're going to use, of course, the dies. And you can definitely cut yourself an aperture if you would like. I think it's pretty easy to see kind of through this one where we're at, so that's going to be okay. Tape it down, run it through. Same thing with this little guy. Aw. I love that it's like actually a square die if you really look at it, but at the same time it's circular. And then these guys I will cut in different colors of paper, and I'll be right back. Wow guys, look at these. So cute. So this is the same die, and look how this one has like a little pattern, this one has little cuts, but this one also has the cuts, just looks like more like a pattern. So interesting, look at that. And then these guys. Yeah, I mean, you can see right through them pretty easily. So let me think about what I want to do for the cards themselves and then our sentiments, and I'll clean up a little bit and I'll be right back. Guys. For this first one, I have a standard A2 size card base. I cut down some of that same blue textured paper to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. If you don't like working an 1/8 of an inch, do quarters, or cover the whole thing if you want, you know, with a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 topper, but I like to mat and layer in this way. And then I cut down my stencil piece, so I'll show you how I did that with the next one. But for this one, I already have it ready to go. So this one I'm going to make kind of like a quicker card. You know, you did some work here. We did some die cuts with our stamping. And then I'm just going to put a little topper sentiment that I have from the, I want to say Merry & Bright kit, but it might not be. It might be from the Farmhouse Christmas set, but we'll check that out in just a minute. So I trimmed this one down to 4 by 5 1/4. And you can always take your dauber and go around the edges if you want to distress that, so it's just kind of like blending in. However you want to do that. And I'm orienting it this way, but I guess I could go this way. I mean, they're just random snowflakes, so I have this Let It Snow. You know, maybe I'll do that. I was going to put it like this, but maybe we'll do it like this. So we have our little guys that we cut out earlier. Put that there. I was going to put these, yeah, either way. Look, I was going to do it this way or this way. It looks great either way. So let's do it this way. I know normally I do cards in this direction anyhow, but so maybe I should have gone the other direction. Alright. And I'm just going to set that down randomly there. This one here. Right about where it was nice. And then I'm just going to put some dimensional adhesives on the back of this, some little dots, and I'm just going to place it here. I'll be right back. There they are. And I'll just pop that on here. Really sweet and soft, and you know, quite a bit going on with the different textures of the stenciling and the stamping. Really sweet. And then the foil there. And so for this one, you know, I like a pop of black sometimes. I thought that might be fun. So again, I cut this the same as far as 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then this guy, we're just going to cut it down right now. It's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, which is just your standard A2 size. But you know, you can pick to just cut 1/4 inch off of one side or split the difference, you know, like a little bit off of here and then a little bit off the bottom to make it 4, because we're going for 4 by 5 1/4. And maybe here. And now I'm doing 5 1/4 one before I did a little bit wider. So you have this guy just to kind of keep it centered, right? So you want to take a little bit off of all the edges on that one because it does have a central thing. On the other one, I just cut it randomly. And so for this guy, I'm just going to glue this guy down. And I know this is hurting people's hearts already because I left this whole delicious piece of paper. So if you want to cut this out, just gut it so you can use it for something else, go ahead. But for now, I'm using the whole thing. And again, if you want to ink around this, make it softer on the edges, go for it. I'm going to give this a minute to set up because I don't know if you can see, it's very, it moves a lot because of that slick paper underneath. So I do want this set up before I start playing around here. But we do have all these little snowflakes I cut, and then we'll do also a sentiment right from the set. So I will be right back. Okay, I think for this one what I'm going to do is stamp the word snow, and then we'll stamp let it right on the card. And if that makes you nervous, then you can stamp let it and then cut it out with the little banner die. But I'm going to stamp it right on there. I like to live life dangerously. Alright, so we're just going to put these guys here. There. And I'm going to use the word snow. Any of these, I mean, if you just stamped it, like, because I did the black background, which I like that pop of black, you stamp it in black, 'tis the season, you know, or winter wishes, I think it looked lovely. Oh, and then maybe you could even emboss it with, like, some embossing powder. But okay, so I'm going to use snow, and we have the die for that, so that'll be cool. A little something extra on there. Let's get that off. And what I'm going to do before I start is make sure, and when I say make sure, I'm just trying my best to not have air bubbles when you have a big stamp behind. We'll see what happens. Alright, and then I'm going to stamp with the dark blue. Like I'm going to ink it up, going into the lighter blue. And I'll probably do it a couple times, so to build up our color. Okay. Oh, you know, I kind of like the mottled look of that because it looks like snowy. Ah. Oh, okay, I'll do it again, but I do like the way that looks. Very much like the way that looks. Okay. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so we have our die. I'm just trying to see if I need an aperture or not, but no, that's pretty great right there. So I'm just eyeballing it. Again, if you want to do an aperture, what you do is you put the die on a scrap piece of paper with a little bit of, you know, washi like here. Run it through, get rid of that extra piece, and then do this. But you know what? Ooh, okay. We will do that. Let me find my black shiny paper that I used earlier. I'll do a drop shadow so it kind of mimics or repeats basically what's going on in the background here. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to take this. You can see me in the paper there. Hi. I'm going to leave enough to make the like a pocket or the aperture. Let's say a pocket. I'm not sure why I would say that, but there we go. Okay, so I'll show you right quick what that looks like when you make an aperture to help you, or a little window, and you just stick that down. And I'm using this paper because I'm going to use this paper. So if you have a scrap paper, then that's great too. But if you're going to use the paper, you might as well use one that you are going to use. I think that was a little bit redundant. If you're going to use the paper you are going to use that. Okay. So I want to be very careful with this one. Actually, this is going to be in the background. You're not going to see it that great, but so we have that. That's going to be my drop shadow. And then I'm going to grab this, and actually I'm going to cut this down. And so now we're going to lift this little flap. And even though I could see this earlier, I just want to show you what this does. So now we have this little guiding window. You can do this with anything. It's really great for when you have like flowers or anything that has like little small areas that you're not sure if you're lining it up correctly. So again, I'm using a well-loved folder. I do that for you guys so you can see that when it's, you know, wonky looking, it'll still cut and it's just fine. But the die and press kits always come with a new folder. Try to do this slowly. And very carefully now, because this is my topper. There's it. There it is. And that looks pretty good. And I will drop shadow this like that. I kind of like the way it looks like a marquee, doesn't it? So I'm going to glue those together. And again, give those a little moment to settle. You know what we can do? Have I used this? Put a little something on the edge. How about that? I haven't even dipped this a second time. And there's that. Okay, so I'll just glue these together like this. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we have our snow, we have our card base. Just want to make sure. Did I just realize these both have the same sentiment? Yes. Done two different ways. Very cute. Let's see here. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm just going to stamp the sentiment like straight on there. If you want to use a tool to help you, you know, your stamping tool, go for it. I'm just going to stamp here and have that kind of straight there. I'm going to bring this a little bit closer to me. I basically just want it like here, you know, and I'm going to stamp it in black because there's some black, you know, in the shadow and the background. I think it'll look nice. And I'm using VersaFine ink, so it's nice and juicy. And stamp it there, and hopefully that's pretty straight. There we go. Nice. I spent some time with it, you know, I just kind of held it there, making sure I had all the different areas. I probably should have moved this, though, if you're going to stamp it, in case you get ink like on the edges and you didn't realize. It will definitely get on this. And now I'm going to put this down with some dimensionals. So I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back of this, and then we're going to tuck some of the die cuts just here and there. I think that'll look really lovely. So I will be right back. Okay, so I have some dimensionals on the back of that. I'm just going to pop it down right here. I'm not quite squishing it down yet because... let's put it there. I'm going to put these guys in, and I don't know exactly where I'm going to tuck them in. So like, let's say that one's there. You know, this guy maybe wants to go there. Oh, so pretty. Oh my gosh. These little die cuts are so pretty and just delicate and lovely. I'm trying to think. Let me think about, I think maybe just like that. Yeah, just a couple. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, instead of just moving these, because I don't care for doing that, what I try to do is stick them down kind of where they're at. And so I'm going to put a little glue on the back. Enough to hold it down, basically. Okay, so I'm going to do that with all of them. Just put some glue. And glue and glue. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so that's it. And I actually took that last silver one and I tucked it in behind. That's why I was saying I wasn't pushing this down quite yet until I was ready. So it's just poking out back there. So sweet. So thanks for watching. Thank you so much, Die and Press, for sending these items for review. The The stencils, you know, really nice material. They work really well. What I would say about these guys is go ahead and just pounce, like kind of what I was showing you. That's how I do it. A little pounce, a little this. And yeah, I'll have some images for you guys. I'll have some links in the description box. Really cool, fun new tools to try out. And I will see you guys at the next one. Bye now.